Clarence House is not yours. King Charles warns Meghan not to step foot as he will to Prince George. The halls of Clarence House have long been the official residence of generations of British monarchs in London. According to palace insiders, the mansion's next resident has been chosen, and it's not who you might expect. Insiders claim that King Charles made it clear to his daughter-in-law, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, that Clarence House is not hers and never will be. The decision to leave the stately estate to his eldest grandson, Prince George, was made a long time ago and is believed to be non-negotiable. The king's reasons stemmed from his deep maternal feelings for the young prince and his desire to ensure he had a stable, nurturing environment in which to grow up in. A far cry from the chaos that surrounded the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in recent years. A source close to the royal family confirmed Charles admires George and has been planning this for quite a long time. He wanted to give his grandson an education he never had, an education full of consistency, tradition, and a sense of purpose. Clarence House represents that legacy, and it's important for him, and it must be in the direct line of succession. The decision is another sign that the monarchy under King Charles is charting a markedly different course from its predecessors. Gone are the days of royal rebellion. Instead, the new king is promoting stability, protocol, and a return of traditional institutional values. Charles has seen firsthand how damaging instability and dysfunction within the royal family can be. He was determined not to let that happen under his control. Giving George a solid, safe education at Clarence House was his way of laying the foundation for a smooth transition of power when the time comes. Of course, the move is unlikely to sit well with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, whose very public falling out with the royal family has dominated headlines in recent years. In particular, Meghan has long harbored the ambition to assert a more prominent role in the organization. She really hopes to end up at Clarence House. It was a huge blow for her not to have that opportunity. She saw it as a deliberate embarrassment, a way for Charles, to distance himself from her and Harry. The tension is evident as some royal commentators warn that the decision could reignite the family's bitter feud. But for King Charles, choice was essential, a way to preserve the monarchy's future by investing in its youngest heir. Charles knows that the path forward for the royal family must be a steady and continuous one, the source said. George is the future king, and he needs to be nurtured and prepared for that role from a very, very early age. Clarence House is the perfect environment just for that. Indeed, the historic property has profound significance for the House of Windsor. This was the childhood home of the Queen Elizabeth II, who spent her childhood years there with her younger sister, Princess Margaret. The decision to leave a legacy to Prince George, then, is a symbolic passing of the torch, a tangible link between the monarchy's past and its future. There's a real sense of coming full circle, the source missed. George will be the third generation to call Clarence House home. It's an incredible legacy to inherit, and Charles wants to make sure he's ready for it. Of course, the young prince is still only 10 years old, with many years for personal growth and royal training ahead of him. But for King Charles, the die had already been cast. Clarence House, with all the tradition and stability it represents, will belong to George, a testament to the monarchy's unwavering vision for the future of the crown. As the royal family navigates the choppy waters of a new era, one thing is certain: Prince George's secure position at the heart of the monarchy will be their guiding light through upcoming challenges.